Are you a project manager working on a customer-centric solution for your project? Whether that's an internal customer or an external customer, customer experience, or CX, is important. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why CX is important for you to track, and I'm going to give you CX metrics for you to use on your project. First of all, it helps you understand your customer better. It defines the customer's needs and wants really clearly. It confirms how your project and solution are delivering to those wants and needs that your customer has. It helps you plan for continuous product updates and solutioning to keep your product evergreen and relevant and sustainable. And finally, it increases the mind share your product has with your customers. The more you can keep track of adoption and change management of your customers with your solution, then you can keep track of, is your project and product going to do that? As project managers, we often think about the process, the people, and the technology, but you need to include the users, otherwise known as the customers. When you're doing that, you're going to implement a holistic approach. It's a simple concept, but it's so important to get right. So what kind of CX metrics will work best for your project? I'm going to give you an example of 2 types of metrics. First, let's look at the 3A'S, which is a more universal metric. We have audience, understanding the audience of the solution, what their wants and needs are, as I talked about earlier. Adoption, creating an end-to-end solution that they want to use and that will fit into the roles and the environment. And the other is adherence, and this has to do with sustainability of the solution. Is it fit for purpose today and for the future? Gone over the concept. The question is, what metric do you actually use? Well, this chart shows you the kind of metric, what it measures, and its purpose. Pick one per purpose. And of course, you pick the one that best fits your project requirements based on what your project's actually doing. Keep it simple. Keep it as simple as possible and as easy to collect as possible. So let me show you another chart, another model, which is Google's heart. Here again, I have a card that shows metrics, measures, and purpose. One of the key things here is there's more to track. H is for happiness, and that is client satisfaction. Next is engagement. They might be happy with it, but are they using it? So then you want to track click-through rates, page views, etc. Adoption. How much are they using it? Are they upgrading the tool like a new app version? Retention. Are you keeping the audience you're trying to grow? Now, this is obviously more relevant when you have not a captured audience like an internal customer, but an external customer that can choose to either use and adopt your product or not. And if I'm reaching my target audience, perhaps you'd like to give this video a like, subscribe, and share this information with others. Task. Task is all about, are they able to do the thing that your solution is meant for them to do? How do you actually implement these metrics? Well, you need to think about the kind of metric you chose and where you would most likely find the answer. If you're asking a question in a survey, you need to tell them you're listening, and you need to tell them what you're going to do about what they said. You can also track things that are completely transparent to your users through clicks, when they download a system, when they use it for a transaction, time to complete. If you know that there is a 5-step task, you can track how long you think it should take as a baseline and how long your users are actually doing that, and also how much abandonment. So how many times they get through 3 steps and stop. And then there's competitive market analysis, which is really a great way to understand innovations are happening in the marketplace and what other options our customers have. Again, especially externally, but even now internally, because people have a high threshold for what technology should do for them, and we need to meet that threshold to meet their expectations. So your project should also include a couple of things. 1, sustainability. So make sure that as your project sets up these metrics, that they're being tracked beyond your project into operations. And make sure that as that operations team takes over, they understand the metrics and they understand who is going to track them, respond to them, and create an ever-changing system that responds to the comments you get from your users. So that's it, my 6 metric summary. If you want to know more, go to my blog, the link is below. And if you want to know more about change management, check out this video. And I'll see you next time on ProjectSkillsMentor.com.